Hey guys, hope you're doing well today. This video, I'm going to show you how to run a three-phase piece of equipment off single-phase power. So I bought a new mill for the shop, and it's obviously three-phase, which is no problem. I'm going to make it run on single-phase. So I've been doing this for quite a while with different equipment. So I started out using a rotary phase converter, which is good, but there's a lot of components. It takes a little work to get that going. So I'm going to show you a much simpler way. So I started buying these, and I think I have installed like 6 or 7 of these so far between my equipment and friends' equipment. So these are available on Amazon, little VFD, and I'll have a link in the description below. These are super easy to install, they're easy to program, and you can do a very basic function or you can get very complex with this. I've done both. So I want to walk you through and show you a basic setup for this. So don't be intimidated by this book. There's a lot of stuff in here, but it's only a handful of parameters that you have to change to get this running. Like I said, you can keep it as simple as you want or get as complex as you want. So the main thing is that your equipment is 220 three-phase. If it's 480, 440, that's a whole nother ball game on getting it to run in your shop. But as long as you have 220 power and enough amperage available, most equipment can be run in your shop. So this unit, it's advertised for 7.5 horsepower. My mill is 3 horsepower. So always go a little bigger with these. If it was a 5 horsepower motor, I'd probably step up to the 10 horsepower. These are cheap. It's too cheap not to go big with these. So let me start walking you through and show you what I got. Here's the inside of the drive. I've got the cover pulled off. So this is where you're going to make your wiring connections. So to make this drive function in its most basic format, you got 3 terminals here and 3 terminals here that you're going to need to hook up. So on the incoming, why they made the screw red, I don't know, but it is the ground terminal, number 1. And then you're going to take your 220, your power, and you're going to connect it to terminal 2 and terminal 4, which is R and T. But the ground, you're going to want to pigtail that. So you're going to want to come in and split it to go to your motor connection and your drive connection. So over here on the motor side, terminal 789, which is UVW, you're going to hook your 3 power wires to your motor. And again, that ground is going to be tied together with this ground over here. If the motor runs backwards, you can swap any 2 of these 3 wires. Does not matter which one. Just swap 2 of them around and the motor will change direction. You can also do it in the programming, but it's just as easy to do it here. And of course, be sure you power the drive down before you do that. So once you have your 6 wires hooked up down here, this drive is ready to be used in a basic format. So all your interaction will be on the screen. So you'll power it up, hit the run button, and I would suggest leaving your hertz at 60 hertz. If you have an inverter rated motor, you can slow this down. But if it's just a regular motor and you slow it down too much, it can overheat. When you're done, just press the stop button here, let everything ramp down, let the fan stop, and then turn the power off. So the next steps to get into a more advanced function, you're going to use these terminals here. So the first is going to be using COM and S1, S2, those, but if you want to get more in depth and do more functions with this drive, such as remote speed control, forward and reverse, auto braking, and all that, you're going to have to get in the book and figure out how to utilize these terminals and the programming. I'm not going to cover this in the video. This is just to get a basic setup going. Here's the information for my motor. It's 3 horsepower, 3 phase. This motor can be wired for 220 or 440, so you need to make sure that you're wired for 220, 60 hertz, and then your RPM and your amperage. This is the information that you'll need to set up your drive. Okay, quick note here. When you're wiring in your single phase power, you want to use terminal R and T. So you won't have any wire on terminal 3, which is also terminal S. I've got the drive temporarily wired up here. This is the most basic way to run this thing. It's not how I'm going to run it, but I wanted to take time and show you. So here it is. I'm going to plug it in, power it up. So when you apply power, this screen's going to come up. So it's already programmed. So all I have to do is come over here and hit the green button. It's got 60 hertz flashing. That is my assigned hertz. If I want to slow the motor down, I can adjust it right here if I want it with this knob. All this is done locally on the drive. And to start it, push the green button. And when it's solid, it means it's outputting power, so my machine is going to run as normal. I can still adjust the speed right here with the knob. So it's that simple. When you're done, come over here and hit the red button. It'll start flashing, and in a few seconds the fan will stop and it'll be safe to shut it down. And if you want to go in here and change your parameters, which you'll need to, I already have this one set at 60 hertz. You're going to go to Program, and then you're going to use the arrow key to select the first digit and hit Data Set. And now you're going to go, I'm going to go to P011, and I'm going to shift to there. I'm going to hit Data Set, and that's going to take me to my parameter. Now this is acceleration time. Now I actually want it as low as it'll go. So 0.1 is as low as it'll go. Data Set, and it's done. It automatically goes to the next one, which is deceleration time. Data Set, same thing. So whenever you're done, just hit Program Escape. It'll take you to that screen. Press Program Escape again, and that takes you back to your normal screen, and you're ready to run. So you do that for all the parameters, and I'll have a list posted of the ones that you need to change. Obviously in the US we use 60 hertz. Whatever country you're in, you may use 50 hertz. So you'll just have to see what it says on your motor. Here's the PDF that's available on my website. You can get the information here, or you can download it for free there. So this will get you running in a basic setup. This drive comes set up for 50 hertz. So there's 3 places where you change that. And then over here is your ramp up, ramp down time, which is not absolutely necessary, but it helps. And then these bottom parameters is your motor information, which if you're in the US, it's most likely going to be 60 hertz. So all 4 of these need to be changed to 60 hertz for your motor to run at the full speed. Also, I've included down here just a basic start stop. P0.01, P5.01. That tells your S1 terminals what to do. So they're set at 0. You want to change those to 1. And then all you have to do is short COM and S1 together with the switch. And that gives you your basic remote start stop. I'll probably add more to this form. And if you get this off the website, it'll automatically send you the updated version when I upload it. All right, I wanted to show you this while I had it on the table. So this is a little timer circuit that I built. So what I've got is an on delay timer, an off delay timer, and a contactor, and a switch. So what happens, I turn my switch on, it turns this relay on, which activates the contactor. The VFD boots up. So I give it a few seconds to boot up. This relay turns on and activates the start signal. When I power it down, this relay turns off, stops the start signal, and then this gives the VFD, the fan, and all that time to quit running, and then it shuts the system down. I have these timers set pretty short right now just for testing. So essentially, I'll just walk up to the machine, turn my switch on. That relay pulls in the contactor, and then that starts. So now the VFD would be ready to run. When I turn the switch off, it's going to kill that. And then when my timer runs out, it kills that and opens my contactor. I just wanted to show you this while I had it on the table. So let me get it installed on the machine and I'll bring you back. Here's everything buttoned up. Everything's mounted on the mill. And coming up to the front of the mill, so I have my switch right here. So I turn that on, and then my LED comes on, and I'm ready to run. Over here. And then when I turn my switch off, it stops the drive, it drops out that run signal, and now this is going to power down. Guys, I'm really happy with this setup. I'll probably do some more advanced features on this mill, or I've got another mill to wire up, so keep an eye out for that video. As always, I appreciate you watching. If you would, give me a like and subscribe. And remember, you were created for a purpose. And we'll catch you on the next one.